With Kreeping the Hunter on the Marvel horizon, one can only hope it isn't a pile of Madam Web-shaped pants, we thought we'd cover another hunter for this week's video. Enter stage left Herne the Hunter, a legend and ghost embedded in English folklore. Not to be confused with Calder the Last Witch Hunter, thank you Vin Diesel for that. Frequenting the county of Berkshire, Windsor Forest and Great Park, Herne is first referenced in Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor. Although how historically accurate Shakespeare had his legend, no one can say for sure. In this text he's known as the Forest Keeper, haunting an old English oak in deep winter. Cue Act 4, Scene 1. There is an old tale goes, that Herne the Hunter, sometime a keeper here in Windsor Forest, doth all the winter time, at still midnight, walk round about an oak with great ragged horns. And there he blasts the tree, and takes the cattle, and makes milch kine yield blood, and shakes a chain in a most hideous and dreadful manner. You have heard of such a spirit, and well you know the superstitious idle-headed eld received, and did deliver to our age this tale of Herne the Hunter for a truth. An earlier version of the play sees Herne renamed Horn, a ghost wandering in the forest in the form of a great stag, used as a story to scare children into good behaviour. Fast forward a few years to 1792, English author Samuel Ireland provided an extension of Shakespeare's description of Herne. The story of this Herne, who was keeper in the forest in the time of Elizabeth, runs thus: that having committed some great offence, for which he feared to lose his situation and fall into disgrace, he was induced to hang himself on this tree. Herne continued to evolve through various iterations of the Merry Wives of Windsor, and speculation as to the location of his famous oak continued for many years. Some placed the oak in Frogmore House, in Windsor Great Park. That particular tree was felled in 1796. English author Edward Jesse claimed that a different tree in the avenue was the real Herne's oak. This theory was popular with Queen Victoria herself, who had a fresh tree planted on the grounds in 1863 when Jesse's tree blew down. Currently, one of the new oaks planted in 1906, so not actually that new, holds the title of Herne's oak. When English author William Harrison Ainsworth referenced Herne in his 1843 novel Windsor Castle, the legend of Herne was elevated into popular folklore. In this depiction, Herne was impaled by stag's antlers, only to be saved by the devil, who insisted he wear the antlers as a reminder of his fate. It was Jacob Grimm, German author and one half of the Brothers Grimm, who suggested that Herne had been considered the leader of the Wild Hunt. The Wild Hunt typically involved a chase fronted by a mythological figure, escorted by ghostly companions in determined pursuit of their prey. In the 20th century, Herne became an apparition that would appear before disasters, including the deaths of royalty. It was around this time that Herne made himself known to individuals, with reports of hounds and the sound of horns in Windsor Forest, increasing in frequency. According to the English author Arlo Thompson, Herne, along with other wild huntsman figures in European folklore, likely stem from a common origin. He proposes that Herne could be linked to the Gaulish deity Cernunnos, suggesting that just as Cornu evolves into Horn, it's possible that Cern could translate into Herne. It's worth noting, however, that Herne is a legend specific to certain areas, primarily Berkshire and the surrounding counties, and evidence of Cernunnos' worship was not unearthed in England. He was clearly a hunter of many talents though, so one of those could technically include globetrotting. It has also been proposed that Herne originates from the word Hurrian, a title given to the pagan god Woden. Woden, derived from Odin in Norse mythology, was the god of war, wisdom, and poetry. Quite an undertaking. In the Middle Ages, Windsor Forest did come under pagan control, so it's possible theories were established based on who ruled at the time. If we're to run with the train of thought that says Herne was a real person, history suggests he's the ghost of Richard Horne, a servant during the reign of Henry VIII, who was caught poaching, one would guess it didn't end well for him. Whether you believe any of this or not, there's one thing you can rely on. He did make his presence felt on the very real Robin of Sherwood TV show, one of the many glorious products of the 80s. And so to our questions. Did you watch Herne and Robin of Sherwood? Or were you more of a Magnum PI person? Did I butcher the pronunciation of Kernanos? Ratings welcome, 10 being perfection, 1 being dear God, stop talking. Until the next one, have fun storming the castle.
Thanks very much for listening. If you'd like to contact us or check out what we've been up to, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you enjoyed the video today, please do like it, subscribe to the channel, and ding the bell to receive notifications about new videos. See you in the next one.